welcome back to our YouTube channel, Bible-Based Teens. Today is Sunday, September the 28th, and this is a follow-up video to our scripture from last week. And before we get into it, I just want to say that if you like the content of this channel, please do like and subscribe. And so our scripture from last week was Proverbs 27, verse 17. And the scripture reads, "As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another." And as this week was going on last week, I got some bad news that one of my family members passed away. And I was going through a really hard time. I was having a really hard time focusing. I was just kind of going through the motions of life, I was doing work, I was doing chores and everything else, and I just wasn't feeling like myself. And, I found my mind wandering, and I felt like I was having such a hard time focusing on what I normally would be focusing on. Normally I'm on the prayer line and I'm reading the scriptures and I'm listening to the Bible. And, I just felt a lack of energy and lack of motivation. And it's almost like something was distracting me and draining me at the same time. And you all being teenagers, whether you're in high school or whether you're in college working or dealing with things with your family or your friends, sometimes there can be certain situations that can make you feel a little more distant from God. It can make you feel like you're not feeling the presence of God the way that you were before. And so on Wednesday, one of my covenant friends, who's also on this journey with me, she gave me a call and she just began to minister to me, and she began to speak to me about the goodness of God and how great God is. And she began to share her testimony with me, and she began to share the word with me. And can I tell you that in that moment, that conversation, it literally shifted me back into the presence of God and shifted my focus and my mindset back onto the things of God. And I was reminded of our scripture, how in truth, one person really does sharpen another person. One good thing about covenant friends is that they're on the same journey as you. They're on the same journey to love God, please God, serve God. So when one person is down, the other person can truly lift another person up. And that being said, both of you can finish the race strong. And so this kind of reminds me of the word in Revelation chapter 12, I should say, verse 11. And it talks about how we've overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. The testimony that we're able to share with each other can literally lift another person out of such a dark place and put them back on the path and the journey of looking and searching and going with God. And so don't ever underestimate the power of your testimony, because it is mighty for the pulling down of strongholds, not just in your life, but in other people's lives. So that's all I have for you today. I hope you guys have a great week. And of course, I'll be back next week with our new scripture.